Hi guys, welcome back. Today I have an extra special tutorial for you guys. This is going to be using my custom glitter mix called Ope from Peachy Olive Glitters. If you're not from the Midwest and you don't know how to use Ope in a sentence, I will link a video in the description for you below. And if you're watching this at the time this is launching, April 1st, 2023, I also have a collab box that is going to be live on the website right now through peachyoliveglitters.com. This is going to include a second custom glitter mix from myself, and this will also have two exclusive prints, one from Made by Manny and Mal, the other one from Paint Between Dreams, two of my very good friends. I will link that for you guys in the description, and if you're not able to snag one of those, I will be doing a Collab Box giveaway in my private Facebook group. This is a free group, not a paid mentorship group, so you're welcome to join. I will link all of the details for that giveaway in that group. Let's go ahead and get started. So at this point, I've got the glitter applied to the tumbler. I made sure to flatten that out before I let it cure because it is a very chunky mix. And then I've got 3 coats of epoxy on it at this point. I made sure to sand between each layer to make sure that it was as smooth as possible without all of the bulkiness of that epoxy. Once that's smooth, I'm going to go in with my paper cutter, vinyl cutter, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to cut just random sized strips of this vinyl from North 80. For whatever reason, I was working on another project and I was thinking that this had to be cut diagonally also, just like the other vinyl that I was working on. My brain was obviously having a brain fart. So you can just cut the vinyl horizontally or vertically. It'll fit on this 20-ounce tumbler. And then once you've got all of your little stripes of vinyl laid down, you're gonna take a kind of starter piece of painter's tape. I got this pack on Amazon. It's got a ton of different sizes. I think it's like an 1/8 all the way up to like 2 inches. And I'm gonna lay that down diagonally, and then I'm gonna use that as kind of a guide for my first piece of vinyl that I'm laying down. And then I'm gonna go in with just random sizes of this tape, and I'm gonna butt it up next to that last piece of vinyl that I laid down. And then we're gonna take more random sizes of the printed vinyl and lay that down flush next to the middle tape. We're gonna continue this process all the way until we are at the very end, and you want to make sure that you are staying as close to that painter's tape as possible. Otherwise, once you get to that last piece of vinyl that butts up next to the very first piece of vinyl that we laid down, your diagonal stripe that is showing the glitter peekaboo between the two is not going to be straight. I didn't worry too much about cutting the vinyl tops and bottoms super straight because I planned on going in with my edging tool. That's just going to give it a consistent kind of a gap between both the top and bottom rims once you cut all of the excess pieces of vinyl away from those rims. After I got all of the vinyl cut off the top and the bottom rims, I went in with my Dremel and I sanded around the top rim to expose that thin stainless line so the final coats of epoxy have something to adhere to. If you don't have a Dremel, you're welcome to just use a sanding block. That works just as great. And then I cut this textured metallic vinyl 2 different sizes, so I cut 10 strips in total. That's going to obviously vary depending on how many stripes of printed vinyl that you put down, but I cut one of them 11.5 by 0.06, and then the other half of them I cut 11.5 width by 0.10 height. So I'm just going to go around and place these right over top of the vinyl. I wanted to make sure that the glitter was exposed, and so I opted to lay it over top of the vinyl as opposed to the glitter to give it more of that glitter peekaboo. So we're going to continue this all the way through the end, and then we're going to go in with our coat of polycrylic to ensure that all of the vinyl striping and detail work is going to stay down before we go into our final coats of epoxy. Now that all of the vinyl work's laid down, I'm going to be a little bit more conscious about cutting these excess strips off of here because we're not using our edging tool again. I want to ensure that the vinyl where it's cut off is flush with the printed vinyl that's already been cut off. Otherwise, your strips aren't going to line up. After all of my vinyl work is laid down, I'm going to throw this on my turner and just put 1 coat of polycrylic over top of this. I did hit it with my heat gun because it's not a chrome or holographic vinyl. I didn't worry about bubbles presenting themselves underneath of that vinyl work, so I just hit it with my heat gun. It was dry in probably 30 seconds or less. And then I went in with 2 final coats of epoxy from Flynn Sisters Supply Shop. I will link that in the description as well. And this tumbler was done. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell button if you want to get notified of future tutorials. I post every Saturday, and I will see you guys next weekend.